How the love got cold. I don't know. How my friends turn to fold. I don't know. 40 in, it's how it go. What you six? Yeah. Better know it. Times change. People change. They gon' change. They gon' love you, then they hate you. Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, that's right. Sell you out for some change. Yeah. They go crazy for that money. They the range. Hey. Lord forgive them, cause they know now what they do. Messing with a prince, they ain't even got a clue. They don't blind them with the light when they see me coming through. And a hater couldn't stress me, tell them this ain't nothing new. Watch your back, better watch. Watch your back, better watch. Keep the circle tight, dog, never slack, never loose. Do your friends, do you know? Got your back. I know the ones around me, yeah, I'm keeping track. How the love got cold. I don't know. How my friends turn to fold. I don't know. 40 in, it's how it go. What you six? Yeah. Better know it. How the love got cold. I don't know. How my friends turn to fold. I don't know. 40 in, it's how it go. What you six? Yeah. Better know. Yeah. Never take a word. Show me how you getting down. Yeah. Is you with it when a man up and when he down? You around for the occasion?
All right. Okay. So let's do some Q&A in the MIA here. We're going to do, the question is Jeremiah 51. Let's go to that. Jeremiah chapter 51. And let's read verse 26. The question is that stone is speaking of, the stone for a corner, is that Christ? Let's see. Let's read it.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 26.
Yep.
And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord.
Okay, so no, in this context, it's not talking about Christ, like you read in Peter and things of that nature, the stone which the builders rejected. No, it's not talking about that. So let's get it on. Read verse 25, and we'll read down. We'll precept this. We'll show you what it's talking about. Read that.
Verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain.
O destroying mountain. Now, when it speaks of a mountain, mountains goes into governments, because mountains can't actually destroy anything, right? Let's go back to Isaiah, because before Jeremiah prophesied about this destroying mountain, Jeremiah did. It was Isaiah. Go to Isaiah 13, and let's read verse 1 and 2, because in that chapter, the actual mountain will be referring to Babylon. But let's show you it's not talking about ancient Babylon, but modern Babylon, known as America. Let's read that.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 1.
Yep.
The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amoz did see.
The son of Amoz, the burden of Babylon did see. As I said, before Jeremiah prophesied, Isaiah saw it already. Now, read the next verse to show the mountain.
Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
There you go. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. As I said, mountains is going into governments, because mountains can't literally destroy anything. So it says high mountain, the highest government of the world is, it was Rome at one point. It was Greece when it's talking about when Esau came in, the white man came into power. And now it is America. And the proof is not talking about ancient Babylon. Jump over in that same chapter, jump over to verse 19 to show that Isaiah wasn't actually speaking about ancient Babylon. Verse 19.
Verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms.
The Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the greatest kingdom on the earth. Read.
The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Now, when you know about ancient Babylon, it was not overthrown or destroyed by fire like Sodom and Gomorrah is written about in the Bible. That's how we know that the high mountain that Isaiah speaking about, that he did see, Babylon is now as modern day America, which is prophesied to be destroyed by fire, just like ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. So now let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 51. Now we know that mountain is Babylon, which is also America. Let's read it.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain,
Against
saith,
ye America, go ahead.
saith the Lord, which destroyest all the earth.
Which destroyeth all the earth. You see, it says all the earth. It didn't just say just one particular place. It said all the earth. This mountain did. Go to Revelation. Revelation 11, and let's read verse 18. Let me see if I want to start there. Hold on. Let me see. Yep, let's read that. Maybe somewhere else in there. Yep, let's read it.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Destroy them which destroys the earth. Who is that speaking about? Just look at the ones that have pillaged the entire earth, decimated rainforest, had to create GMO foods. It's famines, it's shortages, birth rate is low. If you need any more historical proof, just look at how the white man has destroyed the earth, and you know who Babylon is that destroys the earth. Let's go back now to Jeremiah, and let's read 51 and verse 26 again.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 26. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner.
No, verse 25 again.
Verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyest all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain.
Make thee a burnt mountain. Now read verse 26. Well, let's see. Let's get something on that burnt real quick. Go back to Isaiah 13. Go back to Isaiah 13. We're going to read something out of there. It said, make thee a burnt mountain. Isaiah chapter 13. And let's read that. Let's read that verse. Where we want to start at in this. Burnt. Okay, let's start at verse 19. And let's read. No, I don't want to read that one. No, let's read the other. Let's go to Isaiah 34. It said, burnt mountain. Here we go. Isaiah 34. And let's read verse 8 on down. 8 to 10.
Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone.
Brimstone,
And the land thereof shall become burning pitch.
Burning pitch. How do you burn something? By fire. Read on.
It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever.
Why? Because it will be burnt up by smoke. Let's get that in the New Testament to show where Peter also spoke about that. Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 3, and let's read verse 10. Because it said it's going to be a burnt mountain. Then we'll get to verse 26. Let's read that.
2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10.
Yep.
But the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
That's from the bombs that drop. Go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Shall melt with fervent heat. Read on.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Shall be burned up. Go to Malachi 4 and 1. Let's go to Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. Because all the prophets said the same thing concerning Babylon, concerning the day of the Lord when God rises up to destroy the great mountain that destroyeth all the earth. Malachi 4 and 1. Go ahead.
Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh, that shall burn as an oven.
There you go. That burnt mountain will be America. It will burn like an oven. Read.
And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
All the proud that do wickedly is those that when they read the Bible, they don't believe it. It's a fairy tale. It's made up. The God is within you. It's stories written by man. None of it's all hypothesis. Those are the proud that reject the word of God. He said they are going to be burned in that oven in the day of the Lord. Is that it on that verse?
And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts.
Saith the Lord of hosts, and he is not a God that he should lie. It will come to pass. Hey, let's go to let's see if I want to go in this one here. Give me that one about where before they hit the ground. The eyes. Is that Zephaniah or is that Zechariah? I get it mixed. It's one of them Z's. The tongues. Let's see here. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's see here. I will have no pity, feed them. Yep, that's what I was looking at, wasn't it? Yep, that's exactly what I was looking at. 14:12. Let me highlight. New Bible alert. Let me highlight that. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Fought against Jerusalem means they have enslaved us, done us wrong, oppressed us, went overboard with the punishment that God wanted us to have. Go ahead.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
How's it going to do that? By the fire that God's going to send upon the earth through the nuclear bombs. Read on.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
In their holes,
And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
In their mouth. That's that thermonuclear fire that you see in, was that Terminator? You see it in Terminator all the time. She burned like a damn crisp in the oven when that fire hit. Now let's go back to Jeremiah 51. Now we got the understanding on what Jeremiah is prophesying about. Let's just read that bottom part. It says, and roll thee down. Well, let's read the whole verse again. Let's read the whole verse.
Jeremiah
25. Yep.
chapter 51 and verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyest all the earth.
That's America. That's the white man. That's Esau. He's known as Babylon in the Bible, and in Revelation it calls him Babylon the Great, because this is the place of great confusion. Great confusion. Read on.
And I will stretch out mine hand from thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain.
Now we read multiple precepts how God is going, New Testament, Old Testament, God is going to burn this place and all the proud with it. Read on. Verse 26. Now, that's the point we wanted to get to. Read verse 26.
And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner.
So you know how you would take a stone and put it in the corner of a building to hold it up again? God says they're not going to take a stone from this place. Read on.
Nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever.
Be desolate forever. Let's go back to Isaiah now. Let's go back to Isaiah. God said this place will be desolate forever. Let me see if this is what I want to read. Which one here? Isaiah 13. I don't know if I read all the way down in this chapter here. But let's see here. Let me see if I want to read this. Yeah, I seen that, but it ain't the one I want. Let me go to here. Let's see, 34, and let's read verse. Let's read verse 10. Verse 10.
Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 10.
Now, remember, we're coming from Jeremiah 51, where it says they won't take a stone or anything from you ever again, right? Let's read that. Isaiah 34, and let's read verse 10.
Yes, sir. Verse 10. it shall not be quenched, night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever.
Forever. Why? Because Jeremiah says, it says, it shall be desolate forever, saith the Lord. Read on in Isaiah.
From generation to generation.
From generation to generation. It will what?
It shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever
None
and
shall
ever.
pass through it forever and ever. Now go back to Isaiah chapter 14, and let's read verse 21 and verse down to 23. Let's read that. Look what God says about this place, Babylon the Great, known as America. We call it America, but that name wasn't around back then. God said that place is the land of confusion that I am going to burn forever. Let's read that.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children.
That's for the Edomites' children, for those that have done us wrong. Prepare slaughter for his children. Keep reading.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
They got to pay for what their forefathers did. I know they didn't put any of us in captivity. They are try to be very nice to us as much as they can. But God does not forget. I can't change God's mind. Who am I to rebel against God, to reply against God? God said they got to pay for the sins of their ancestors, just like we got to pay for the sins of our ancestors. Read on.
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Now we see why Jeremiah said they won't even take a stone out of you. White men won't build no more cities. Ain't gonna be no more builders or skyscrapers that they build. That's why it ain't no stone needed from this place. God said he's going to burn everything up. They won't be in power anymore to build any kind of city of their own. The only city that they are going to build is the walls of the kingdom. That's it. And we'll make them get rocks from over there, not from over here, because everything here is defiled. Read verse 22.
Verse 22. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and remnant, and son, and nephew, saith the Lord.
Now, how do we know that this is talking about ancient Babylon once again? Because after Babylon was conquered by the Persians, they still had sons, they still had daughters, they still had nephews, because they're still around today. The ancient Babylonians are the the modern day Ethiopians. Now, barring that our people are there too, right? So there is a distinction between the Babylonian Ethiopians and our people, the Hamite Ethiopians, and our people that are still there that call themselves Ethiopians but are actually Israelites. And I'm going to prove that for those that may be confused on that. Go back a chapter and go to Isaiah 11, and let's read verse 11 to show that we do have a remnant of people there. You've got Hamite Ethiopians that are from our Babylonians, and then you have Israelites that are there calling themselves Ethiopians. Let's read that, Isaiah 11:11.
Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
The remnant of his people, which are where?
Which shall be left from Assyria.
From Assyria.
And from Egypt.
From Egypt.
And from Pathros. And from Cush.
And from Cush. That's the ancient name. Cush is the ancient name for modern day Ethiopia. God is letting you know that some of our people are still in the midst of them. So there is a difference between Hamitic Ethiopians and Israelites that are calling themselves Ethiopians. Finish it out. And from Cush.
And from Elam. And from Shinar. And from Hamath. And from the islands of the sea.
And the islands of the sea. Now read verse 12 to show what they are called.
Verse 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
The outcasts are in Hamath, the islands of the sea. They're in Shinar. They're in Elam. They're in Cush, which is Ethiopia. They're in Pathros. They're in Egypt. They are in Assyria. They are scattered all over the earth. The outcast of Israel. Read on.
And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Now let's go back to Isaiah 14, now that we cleared that up, right? What I was saying in verse 22, how after Babylon, ancient Babylon, was overthrown by the Persians, they still had nephews and sons and things of that nature because they're still around today. So God is letting you know he's speaking about the future Babylon. There will be no Edomites to leave this place. Let's read verse 22 again.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 22. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and remnant, and son, and nephew, saith the Lord.
Saith the Lord. Read on.
I will also make it a possession for the bittern, and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction.
I will sweep it with the broom of destruction. You ever swept some dust, some dirt, and you don't even care. You just trying to clear the sidewalk. You go through like that. You don't care where it goes. That's how God is going to destroy this place. He's going to read that part again. He's going to do what?
And I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts.
And God is not a man that he should lie. So when we read back in Jeremiah 51 and 26, that stone of a corner is not talking about Christ. That's talking about Babylon being destroyed to the point that it will burn forever and all the elements will melt with fervent heat.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.